Brakati Al Bashim Yoshai, Bashim Kadash. That is, bless the Most High in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Want to get into the filth and base behavior of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, and therefore him as the ruler, as the scriptures tell you, that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Him as the ruler, so are the people. All right, they're wrapped up and engulfed into wicked, demonic customs, and in that is fornication and lewdness. All right, filthiness. We're gonna get into this. It says, woman caught breastfeeding her hairless cat on a Delta flight. All right. It says a woman who took a Delta flight recently wasn't kidding around when she whipped out her breasts and started feeding her hairless cat. All right. So when we read the scriptures about who Esau, Edom is, all right, because everyone on this earth, they have a nationality that they go back to. And those nationalities are found within the scriptures. Is the origin of all the peoples on the earth go back to the Bible. All right, 18 nations. And those nations were brought forth by a progenitor, by a forefather. All right, the first forefather, if you will, in translation of a progenitor. All right. So in that you have Esau, Edom, namely, who's on the hot seat, is the so-called white man. That's who he goes back to. He goes back to the biblical Edomites. And in reading these scriptures and the prophecies and the different characteristics of this man, you see that he is he's filthy. There's no lower and baser of a man, of a nation, a nationality, than the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian man, the cave dweller, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. It says the unidentified female flew from Syracuse, New York to Atlanta, Georgia, where she was caught breastfeeding her feline on the plane. The flight attendant told her repeatedly to stop and put her cat back in its cage. However, the woman refused. And it's no doubt she was an Edomite. There's another one I pulled up. It actually had the bitch's face. Look at her. She's a goddamn Edomite. All right. But it says a message was sent through the aircraft communications addressing a reporting system to alert Delta crew in Atlanta that a passenger in seat 13A is breastfeeding a cat. It will not put cat back in its carrier when the flight attendant requested. All right. A photo to the message board was found on Reddit, just to show you the legitimacy of this report. These are the actual fucking, the ACARs, the ACARs, whatever the fuck you call that, that system, that messaging system, fucking showing you the actual message that was transmitted. All right, this is the flight attendant, Ainsley Elizabeth, who was on board during the incident, took to TikTok on November 13th. Said this woman had one of those like hairless cats swallowed up in a blanket, so it looked like a baby. She said her shirt was up and she was trying to get the cat to latch, and she wouldn't put the cat back in the carrier, and the cat was screaming for its life. All right, so not only was this bitch breastfeeding her animal, which is completely fucking unorthodox to say the least. It's completely unnatural. All right, and it's lewd. All right, it's disgusting, man. But it's completely against any form of normalcy and anything that is right. All right, and the cat was actually screaming for its life. All right, this is straight out of the scriptures of why and who this fucking creature is. This man is worse than an animal, man. Fucking a brute beast. Esau is. And just as I mentioned about, so the ruler is, so are the people. You have these other nations latching on to that that filthiness, that lewdness. Let me get a Slovakia. Another word for that. Lewdness. Yep, the scriptures go into lasciviousness, licentiousness. All right. Smuttiness, indelicacy, loudness, debauchery. All right. That's all you have going on in this place as a result of this man's fucking behavior. This man's actual makeup. It's in his makeup, man. It's in his essence of who he is. Filthiness. Let's see, debauchery, synonym. Degeneracy, yo. Corruption, depravity. Exactly. All right. So as the ruler is, so you have the masses of the people conducting themselves in a way that is completely far left, and specifically going into the sexual immorality. It's just completely fucking depraved. But Job 31 tells us about this fucking dude. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision. This is in reference to Esau, Edom, so-called white man, self-proclaimed, but he's red. He's known as the red all over, as in hairy garment, is its description in the scriptures. That translucent blood. All right, peach, as they used to call them, their skin tone. All right, the rednecks. They that are younger than I have me in derision, because the so-called white man, even though Esau came out before, Israel is the first of all nations. He's the principal, because the Most High chose the Israelites. All right. It says, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. All right, so Job wouldn't venture, and back in the day, the Israelites knew, and other nations too, but primarily we're speaking on the Israelites. It's only people who matter. They wouldn't venture to allow this man Esau, Edom, to be around even their animals. All right? Because of how fucking filthy this man is, man. He's into bestiality. And that's what you have here in this this article, in this report. This woman was trying to get her cat to breastfeed, but it was screaming. It was fucking scared for its life. She was probably holding it down, constricting its movements. And when you do that to a cat don't like that, man. All right. So these creatures, see, Esau is a fucking creature. He's a brute beast, man. He's an animal. This man is into bestiality. And that's why we are to be, and we were in the ancient day, to be separate from this fucking guy, man. To seek none of his ways, and to depart, and you know what I'm saying, sever any fucking ties with him and his ways and his system. All right. It says, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock, because then they would defile the dogs. All right, lay down with the dogs, and then defile the dogs, because there's a law in the scriptures. There's in the Levitical law, if an animal is now defiled by man, the man and the animal have to get put to death. All right, because there's no coming back from that defilement from a dog. Now a dog is now lusting after, say a woman, for example. You had this fucking Edomite teenager a few years back that brothers were circulating videos around. She had a YouTube page about videos of different videos showing how, I'm pretty sure none of it was fucking the actual footage of the shit, but she was immediately going into why a relationship with her dog is better than with a man. A sexual relationship with her dog. All right, going into the different things that the dog does, the ways that it gets aroused, and the different fucking kinks that the dog and she is into. All right, so now, for example, in the scriptures, why you have to put the dog to death, because the dog is now lusting after a human box, man. All right, a female human box, because he's been in some Edomite box, man. That's why you got to put him down. It's fucking, and that's what you have here. And that's why, to an instance, when a woman is defiled, or a young girl, or even a boy, like a fucking choir boy, these altar boys and shit that get touched, diddled. That's why they're fucked up in the head, man, for life, because that defilement, it's hard to come back from. Man, this place is fucking wicked as hell. All right. It says in Hebrews 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So there's no more of a profane person, more of a disgusting, filthy, baser, a lower creature on this planet than Esau Edom and his Esau and his motherfucking progeny. All right, are completely fucking defiled. Slacky, let's get them for edification's sake. Make sure I'm using these words in the right context. All the offspring of, all of fucking Esau's progeny is fucking, are completely profane, man. I had the displeasure of growing up with fucking Edomites, man. The misfortune of growing up with these fucking these devils. All right, and having to witness just how dirty they are. They're very fucking filthy people. And as I mentioned, as the rulers or the people, it says also that in reference to Israelites, so it says that you are of your father the devil, and he was a murderer from the beginning, and pretty much you go after his ways. Look at that, man. Preach the scriptures, right? It says John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. So you are actually performing the lusts, and you're into the same lust that this fucking dude is into, man. Because you're now of him, because you've taken him as your father. All right. You've actually pretty much bent the knee to this dude, man. It said, okay, I'm going to take all your ways. I'm going to take on your ways, man. It says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. All right? So you have 2/3 of the nation of Israel following after this man, the most profane person that ever lived. And this is finishing off. It says in Daniel 4:17, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. All right. So the Most High is actually the source of all power on this planet. All right, and he is the one who sets up and appoints different rulers to come into power, and the different world empires that have been since the inception of mankind, man. Going back to fucking the first kingdom, the first civilization, so to speak, what they say. The ancient Sumerians, man. Ancient Mesopotamians, which goes back to that fucking Nimrod's era. He was like the first fucking empire, if you will. All right, from that empire, all throughout the ages of time, the different empires and kingdoms that were set up, the Most High appointed those rulers and those kings and those empires to put them in place. The Most High did that, man. It says the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So all the kingdoms and rulers that surfaced were put into place by the Heavenly Father. It says he giveth it to whomsoever he will, and he set it up over it the bases of men. So the Most High has given the power to this fucking man for his purpose, to ultimately show his power, the Most High's power. But it's telling you that he has set up the basest, the lowest man on the planet. Like it just said, there's no more profane person. There's no more low of a creature than Esau, Edom, the basest of men. All right? That's who's ruling. And with him ruling over this fucking place, with that type of ruler, that's what fucking deeds that you have going out here. That's what kind of a spirit. Like I said, the Most High has mingled the perverse spirit in the midst of this place, of Egypt, of Babylon, fucking Sodom and Gomorrah. There's a very perverse, filthy spirit that has been mingled in this place of sexual immorality, just some super far left, going deep in the fucking abyss of wickedness, deep in the abyss of wickedness, of the ideas and of innovation of different wicked shit that these people come up with. It's insane, man. That it's really showing you, man. It's of the Most High, the Most High's ultimate omnipotence, his power, showing you that he set up the lowest fucking most disgusting, filthy, putrid man on the planet up over the entire earth. And he's gonna violently fucking bring him down out of power, man. All right? The scriptures are indeed the one true source of knowledge, wisdom, all right, on this planet. That they reveal themselves, and it's revealed of its truth and legitimacy and authenticity every single day, man. Every single second. So with that, all praises the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, Brakateh Yahweh, Brakateh Yahweh Shai, Brakateh Yahweh, Brakateh Yahweh Shai, Brakateh Yahweh, Brakateh Yahweh Shai.